Alright, time for the so-called tricky loft. And we'll see how much luck we have here. But what we're going to do is we're going to use that same sketch that we had before, our little cutout sketch, and make that visible. And then I am going to use that same bottom loft sketch, make that visible just so I can show you. And I could do that without doing the visibility. When I do loft, you can click on sketches that aren't visible. But I'm going to make them visible. So I'm going to take this bottom area right here, and I'm going to loft that up to this area up here. And the first go around, I think, is going to give us sort of a not so lovely shape. Again, hopefully your computer select all this working. Oh, there it is. Mine's good to go now. Alright, so I'm going to grab that one, and then I'm going to see if when I do my click to add, I do my bottom loft sketch, if I select the whole thing. We'll try it this way, and then I'm feeling that's not going to look great. I'll show you something else we can try. But if I do that, I cut. Good. Again, I could have done this without making those visible. You can see here, see how that kind of the loft kind of morphed this way into my circle a little bit, when on the image looks like that's pretty much straight. So I think the best way for us to fix that is if I go to the bottom loft sketch, I think if we come in and instead of having it select that whole circle, I think if we take that line, and you could slice your graphics if you wanted to, and just extend it down to here, and I missed, my apologies. There we go. One of these days I'll get a mouse pad, but for now I do not have one. And then I want that point to be collinear with that. So it should just be an extension of it. And then I'm going to make an arc from here to here to there. Cool. And I'm going to try this. So instead of the original loft that I had here, and I can try and edit this one. If the editing doesn't work, then I'll just do a new one. But on the bottom loft sketch, I don't feel like messing with that. I'm just going to delete that one and then try a new loft. So similarly to how I did the other one, from the cutout sketch I want just that, and then from the bottom sketch though, I'm thinking I only grab, not the whole circle, but just that one. So since that line's straight, I'm hoping it's not going to do that weird little cutout that way. So let's try that and take a look. Ooh, that looks pretty nice. I like that a lot. Alright, I might see what that does because that looks pretty good. Make that invisible. I feel like that's a reasonable accomplishment, so I'm going to save real quick. And then just to get an idea, let's see what that looks like if I do my circular pattern. So I want that. That. Any of these circles all have the same center. Don't want 6 of them. We decided there were 5. And that doesn't look too bad. I might come in and throw a fillet around here every once in a while. But that's giving us that general look. So it looks like that. Looks like that. And then to show you a little bit more, we'll put the colors on there. But I think that looks pretty good. I just might smooth out a couple of these things. So I'm going to travel back in time here, and I'm going to throw some fillets on here. Just about anything that's kind of sharp. So for example, there, I obviously don't want that much of a fillet. I just want to soften the blow a little bit. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's see if I can get away with some .02s. Any kind of sharp edges will look a little weird on there, so anything that'll let me fill it, I'm going to try and throw a fillet on there. For example, smooth out that transition. If you're feeling fancy, you could play around with like some variable fillets. Some of these fillets might not work, and that's okay. We'll just do the ones that can. And yeah, I think I might fillet those as well, but I don't know if I'm going to do them at 0.2 or do those. So if I do those, and then maybe I'll throw a fillet, and you can try the loop select. That actually worked pretty nicely there. Let's see what that looks like with a, well, actually, I don't know, 0.02. Might be a little big, maybe a 0.01. Decent. So let's try that. Let's see now if I do my circular pattern. And then I wanted that circular pattern to also include, so if I hold control, I want a circular pattern on those fillets too. And that looks pretty good. So again, I've accomplished something. Means I'm going to save real quick. And then just to kind of help me visualize if this thing's looking pretty good or not. First of all, the finish I got here, if you just go into your appearances, oops, and you do a new, I like the metallic paint. That one's pretty cool. I actually did a metallic paint and I chose black. So that's what that one is. And a matter of fact, I might change the name of it so I know what it is. Black wheel paint. Cool. And I might use it for another part. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my favorites. So I'm going to figure out what I want for the lighter part, and I think I could use the aluminum, so one of the ones that's already on Inventor here. So if I go to Autodesk in Appearance Library, there's aluminum, maybe like a polished aluminum would look good. So if I click on it, it should, you might have to double click, cool, already got it. That puts one in here in my little appearance or document library. So you can see aluminum polished. And so I'm just going to use that one. I think that looks pretty good. I will also add it to my favorites just because it'll be a little simpler if I change when I'm selecting things later. If I want to use it again, just select from my favorites library rather than anything else. So that looks pretty good. So I will just apply. If I wanted to apply to the whole solid, I could just actually select the solid to change the color. So that's how I did the black. I am going to now just change the face. So if I hold control, it'll let me do this at the same time. You can select on some of these in the browser bar too if you wanted to. Most of these wheels have this two-tone. They'll have them all black, might be like a powder coat, and then they will basically like sand off or grind off the black finish. I want to say use diamond pads or something to scrape off the paint there to be cut, but I'm just going to change those. And as you can see, I could try and select it in here, but I'm stuck in the appearance library and there's a bunch of them and it freaks out. So it's probably going to be faster for me to just go like this and then kind of redo what I just did. Control. And if you don't want to do these all at the same time, you can do them individually, and then you can kind of take the appearance and not copy it over, but you can use the little plus sign to just repeat things. But there's not too many of them, so this isn't too bad. I also could have tried to do some of this and then circular pattern, but that's not too bad. So I'll just throw on that aluminum polished. Looks real nice. And those lines there, that's just showing up, I think, because I am in my visual style of with edges. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Depending on your background, will show up a little differently. So if you wanted to play around as always, maybe you want to throw in a little bit of soft light. You can always customize those too, but that looks pretty good as a starting spot there. So that is what I would call the difficult part of the wheel. I'm going to stop this video here and then we'll do the little pentagon on the inside, but this thing is looking pretty good. If you decided later that this little transition right here was a little sharp for you, I believe we did that as a 3D fillet a long time ago back here. So if you wanted to, theoretically, if you changed that to, let's say, 0.2, it would update here, and then keep your fingers crossed. As long as it wasn't too much of a drastic change, it'll update everywhere else. So that's another thing that's nice about doing that 3D fillet rather than doing that with a sketched fillet. Man, appearances look sweet in Inventor. So I'm going to save here, and then we'll pick up with the next video.